Hey there, we're going to walk you through some tips for making a great presentation, a presentation that's engaging and that follows the format that we laid out. So tip number one is to make it creative and engaging and try to capture the audience. Don't speak in a monotone voice, give it some enthusiasm. It's only 7 minutes, so you can put your best foot forward in that regard. Try to make your solution creative. Make sure you put images in there that are captivating and that help us understand the issue that you're trying to present. You can use an appropriate theme as background. Obviously, we're going to give you this template, but you can change it up as you see fit to make the project more engaging. You only have 7 minutes, so that's all you have to present for. Now, that 7 minutes should be jam-packed with some information, and you're going to want to rehearse your presentation so that it fits into those 7 minutes.
You're going to have 1 minute to prep, to get ready, like to set up your stuff. You're going to have 7 minutes to present and then 2 minutes for questions. So you have a total of like a 9 minute block basically where you're going to be there. We will stop you if you go too far over 7 minutes. So we'll let you like finish your last point, but then we'll end it regardless of where you are. So make sure that you get it through in the time limit.
We also want to make sure that everyone speaks during the presentation. It doesn't have to be evenly divided, but we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to present information. If you want to make engaging slides, make sure you only have a few bullet points on each slide. Don't put paragraphs of information. Less is more when you're trying to make a presentation. Do not read the slides to us. Make sure your sources are in MLA format at the end, and that's pretty much it. We're going to walk you through some of the slides now.
And remember, you want this is kind of like a global study Shark Tank. So you want to pitch your idea, sell us your idea, make a creative solution that we're interested in. So we, the judges, will be the people with the budget, and you're trying to convince us to spend our money to solve your problem in the way that you're trying to solve it. So this is your title slide. Here's you're going to put, the title. Put a picture, put your group members' names. That's an important part, so we know that because the judges will be teachers that might not know you. So we need to make sure that you have all of the group members on your title slide.
Okay, so in this slide, you're going to give us a broad introduction to your topic. So if you chose education, tell us a little bit about education in the part of the world where you found your issue. What are some of the major issues impacting education in that part of the world? So this is kind of like a larger, more broad discussion of that issue. If you're doing hunger, what are some statistics about hunger that are really important to know about hunger going on around the world? It's not specific. This is more broad about the topic.
And then you're going to get more in depth about the specific issues. So if you're doing like hunger and you're doing hunger within a specific part of, Eastern Europe, then you need to tell us about that specific issue that you're dealing with. And it should be very specific. And you're going to give us the details of that. Just give us some visuals to help understand, maybe so we can understand like where this region is and what this issue is and how it's impacting people. And that's really the focus. How is this affecting the people in your region?
And try to get hyper local. If you can, if you know that there's a couple of villages in a remote part of Eastern Europe that are experiencing food security issues, then tell us about those specific villages. That's going to help you in your solution later on down the line. Okay, so this is a really important slide because this is going to tell us why is this important to solve, but most importantly, what's causing this problem, right? What is causing the food security issues and wherever you're looking at? What's causing the education issue? Is it something cultural? Is it something, what is impacting this specific issue? This is going to help us understand, obviously, the larger issue, but it's answering the why and the what for your presentation.
So then you're going to go through 2 case studies for different regions, how they dealt with similar problems. So if you're doing, for example, food insecurity in East Asia, then maybe you'd look at the same issue, food insecurity in sub-Saharan Africa. So how did this region address that problem? Give us, again, some visuals, help to explain how they did this, why they did it this way, and then also what the limitations of the solution are, because it's not necessarily going to be the same. The solution in one region won't be necessarily the same issue. So explain why. Why wouldn't their solution work in your region, or why might it work? So you need to then take that idea and then explain why this can or cannot be used, or maybe parts of it can be used for your region. So that's kind of the point of the case studies. And there's 2 slides here. They're both the same thing. One case study in one region, one in another region. You have to pick 2 case studies from 2 separate regions that are also different from your own region. So if you did East Asia as your problem area, then you could do sub-Saharan Africa and Eastern Europe, but you couldn't do any 2 of the same.
So then you're going to take what you learned in how other people around the world possibly addressed your issue and came up with a solution, and then outline the steps to your solution for your specific issue.
And then you're going to dig into the finances of it. So you have a budget of $500,000. Remember, this is like Global Studies Shark Tank, and that is the budget that we're prepared to give out. So you need to explain what the cost of your solution is going to be, and it needs to be pretty specific. So how much money is it going to take to implement your solution, and what is that money going to do? So if your solution has different aspects of it, like you're going to provide food and you're going to, provide medicine or whatever, you need to give us the cost of all of those things. You need to research that to find what that cost would actually be and then break it down. And you can give us like a chart, like a pie chart or something, or a graph to show us how that money is being spent. But we need to know the financial side of this. And remember, you have to stick to your budget of $500,000.
And we know it's not going to be super accurate. It's going to be accurate enough just to give us some idea. It's going to be hard to plan out for every single detail. But if your issue is specific enough, if you're talking about something that is hyper local, you'll be able to more easily research your finances.
And then you're going to explain how this class, Global Studies, has helped in your understanding of this issue. So tell us how, from learning about the stuff that we've learned about in Global Studies and doing the things we've done in this class, that informed your presentation and helped guide you through this project. So connect it back to the course.
Think about the vocab you had this year. Think about your work with world organizations that you did this year. And maybe if you did some current events or you studied some things going on in other parts of the world, how does this kind of help you in your understanding? And then you put in your MLA citations, and that's pretty much it.
That's it. So if you have questions about this, you can talk to your teacher about it, talk to us about it. We look forward to seeing all of your presentations.